So I've been trying to put the pistons into the block. The block is underneath here. It's being used as a table. And I've just come to the conclusion that these ring compressors are absolutely useless. You can see them sold all over AliExpress, eBay, Amazon, and I don't know what they're for. They may be good for things with big giant rings, but they're just not. For a start, these two straps aren't the same length. This is the second one I've tried. These two straps are different lengths, and as you compress it, it makes a cone, and these edges don't line up. And on the Jeep pistons, which I'll show you in a second, you can see that these bottom rings on the oil ring are very fine indeed. Probably about 30 thou thick. And if one of them slips out or pokes out on one side, then you can't get the piston in, you can't hammer it, and you can't really lever them in, and it's just a complete bloody nightmare. Now you can see here, if you look at the piston carefully, can you see that ridge? The top section of the piston from this point forward where my finger is actually a smaller diameter, about 1/8 thou on each side. So the top part with the rings is actually smaller than the rest of the bore of the piston, which is a strange setup. I'm guessing you've seen it before, I haven't. And this top slot here is just empty, which is again strange. You know, why would you have an empty piston ring slot? But it is. The ones that came out were the same. So what I've decided to do is not spend more money waiting for some ring compressors to come. I bought these very nice stainless steel pipe clamps. They're about £3 each, and they're very nice. I might just buy some more because I like them. And you can see you've got a proper screw. It's not a Willys clip. You haven't got that stupid ratchet thing. It's much easier to tighten up. Part of the problem with this is holding the whole thing tight enough to get this to do up. And if you do it up tight enough so you think you've compressed the rings, then this shitty mild steel clip just slips on this ratchet and it undoes. It's just complete bag of spam. Okay for big pistons with big rings, but for Willys engines with fine oil control rings, thin ones, it's no good. So I'm gonna show you a video in a moment of making this into a ring compressor for a Willys Jeep. And what it really involves is, you can see that this collar down there, I don't want to get any closer than that, can I? This collar here is actually sits lower than this, so we want this whole surface to be very precisely machined to be flat. So I'm going to mount this on a ferrule, a mandrel in the lathe, and turn up this edge to remove this collar and to make that edge flat all the way around and nice and square to hold the rings in, to make my own £3 ring compressor. So enjoy the video, and I'll see you later when it works. What I'm going to do is make my own ring compressor. This is the Mark 1. You can see it on the vise. I've turned down a piece of aluminium here to fit a 78mm. Unfortunately, I bought stainless. I wish I'd bought ordinary steel now, because stainless is that much harder to machine. And it's lovely and precise all the way around here, look. But what we've got is this, on this reinforcement part on the overlap, there's this return, and this return, as you can see, is wider than the actual clip. So this one, I need this part to sit flat down on top of the block so the ring can't escape that gap. Just see what I mean? So I've put it in here, clamped it down onto a what do you call this, ferrule, a spindle. I've machined this bit of alley down, clamped that on there with an M10 bolt, which is very good quality clips, these. And I'm going to try and machine this piece off with a very sharp. Oh, there goes my torch. Let there be light. Right, okay. So you can see what we're talking about here, I think. Can you see it? Anyway, so we are recording. We've got this clamped on there. We've got a very sharp tool. What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to stay well clear of this because I don't want this clip to fly up and hit me in the face. So there is going to be a degree of caution in this machining operation, because I honestly don't really know what's going to happen at the moment. Maybe I should have taken that. I've got 4 of these clips, so I can try this one first. I might need to have taken this further back to support it better. In fact, no, let's just try it. It might work. Here we go. Now a balance load. Oh god, that's giving me the willies looking at it. Of course I can't see what the hell's going on. Where do I want to machine this? Machine it about there somewhere. Want this to be in line with that edge, don't we? There. Right, let's wind that out and just see whether we can take that edge off or not. It might not work. Brown trousers on. Maybe get a clip in the face or a clip round the ear. It's cutting. Oh well. Slowly, slowly catch your monkey. Put that in a bit, I think. Move that out a bit. So I can machine this whole surface flat so that I know it's all lined up when it's clamped on the piston. As I say, these are £2.50 each, these clips, so it's a lot cheaper than buying a shitty spring compressor. Because to be honest, the ones I've seen are rubbish. They might be alright for agricultural engines and things where the piston's like a prick in a shirt sleeve, but for a recently rebuilt engine with very fine oil control rings, it's not brilliant, I have to say. Coming along. It's coming along. This GoPro gets covered in crap when this is doing this. Well, what can you say? It's your job, GoPro. Just so I can get my pistons in the holes. From Australia. It's called 19 Crimes. Aged for 2 years in rum barrels before it's aged in oak. And that just goes down so well. It's absolutely lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Hello. Is that looking any thinner? Something's happening, isn't it? Got to just keep eating away at it, I think. Hope it doesn't fly off and dent it and rip the clip off. Smack me in the face. Look, this is the bits of metal coming off and no drama. I'm happy. I've left the scene of domestic bliss in the house. Log fire is on, clear sky, it's cold, February 22. Dogs in front of the fire. Wife's got a glass of wine looking gorgeous on the settee. And I'm in the workshop with the coat on because it's bloody freezing. It's warming up a bit now. Actually, I haven't turned the heating on, have I? No, I haven't. It's coming along. What can I say? It looks good. What's that phrase? Better than I dared hope. Cut some more of that clip off. Oh, looking like that. That was too ambitious. Oh look, see, look, made a curly whirly. That means it's coming off though. As I say, what could possibly go wrong? I made a tin of sardines out of it. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Yeah, the whole rim bit's like coming off like a sardine tin. No, I'm gonna have to break that off there. You see how thin it is. Just gonna go, take it easy. I'm winning. I'm winning. Maybe I've gone around this wrong way. Maybe I should have taken it off from the outside in. Just trimmed it down like a lip rather than trying to cut through the point where it joins the actual clip. But hey, no one's perfect, especially me. I look at the ring compressors. I named it like crap. They're all the same make, apart from the really expensive ones. And there was some vintage ones on eBay, like for I don't know what make they were, but they were made a while ago. You know, like 30 years old. And they were. The auction's not up for another 3 days. And I couldn't wait that long when I get this done. But they look like the business compared to this crap. All made in China. I don't think any professional engineering building company would use those things. They're just so cheap and nasty. They're a bit of a joke. Oh, look at that. I have made a tin of stainless steel sardine tin. Right, now if I just touch the edge all the way around, I can get a nice, really sharp edge to hold that bloody ring in. And we'll see how we get on with that. What's that clobbering now? Oh, it's clobbering the whole of the outside of the clamp, isn't it? Oh well. Needs must. What we need for this is a really nice slow feed, so it takes that off. Yeah, it's close. I don't understand what that's. Oh, that's whacking on. Which one's that whacking on? It's whacking off in my tool shed. Right. Okay. Nice clamp actually. Like it. So gears. What gear have we got running at the moment on this thing? Not a fast one. Just go slow. More gears than a semi-truck, this thing. Oh, that's fast, that's slow. Well, fine reads reverse gear on stud A. Well, fine for. Oh, I see. Do you know what, I think I'm going to file that bit off or use the grinder. It's going to take bloody ages otherwise. I'm just going to go back and machine the inside ring of the clip and then file that off if it's proud and preventing it sitting down on top of the block. The edge I'm machining at the moment, just about now crossing the threshold. Okay, let's turn that off. I'll just do it by hand. My beauty. Still not quite biting into the main edge yet. I'm going to take a 50 thou or 20 thou off the whole lot. Make sure it's all lined up properly. Treasured family heirloom. No, still not quite there yet. Gone round the corner, but it's still a smidging proud. If I didn't know better, I'd say that was moving. No, it's not. Making incredibly slow progress. Mind you, it is our first date. When's it going to start machining that whole... When's it going to start cutting this? That's what we want to know. Soon, we hope. Oh, wait a minute, something's happening now. I think we're starting to cut the main ring now. Are we cutting the main ring yet? There's a gap in there. Oh, look, so close. Look. Just got to go a bit further and I'll be into the meat of it. Making my lovely sharp edge. And keep my ring under control. I think it's going to work. I don't know what. Oh no, I have machined it, look. I've machined the whole thing. Didn't know that was happening. Yeah, it has, it's machined the whole thing. You feel the burr. Not as much of a burr around there. But I reckon that might be close enough for jazz, you know. There we are. Reckon that'll just about do it, don't you? Can you see it? Close up. Look at beautiful clippy. Get my tool out and undo it. These are lovely clips for the money, you know. I love these clips. Oh, they're lovely. Time to withdraw. Hold on. Oh, don't move that off there. There's going to be an accident. Whoopah. Ooh. So there we have it, a machined flat clamp that should sit tight down on the block and not let my rings escape. Should we give it a go? I'm just going to deburr it. I'm going to bore you with that bit and then we'll give it a go. Right, so let's have a look. We've got a modified clamp here, lovely, with this edge all machined off. No nasty, there's a bit of a burr there actually, that's just a hair. You can see it's all flat. Okay, so we're going to put this on the rings and see how we get on. So, what to do first? Let's put a bit of tissue under there. Because I have learned in the past that the more lubrication you have, the better. This is just straight mineral oil. Just allow these to slide against the outside of the casing, slide against the inside of the slot, and just generally feel happy about their new location when they are compressed. And oh god, I don't like being compressed. Well, tough. Right, so that's all nice and slippery. Space the rings 180, put those around there. That'll be nice. Lovely job. Right, can I get this on? I think I'm going to have to take this nut off. These clamps could do with being a few more millimeters in diameter, but I couldn't get any bigger ones. So we're going with the flat machine side down, that way, onto the rings, like that. Squish them in, shove that up the hole. Oh, that's annoying. It's difficult to get it up the hole, she cried. Yeah, I'm gonna have to improvise here suddenly, or slightly. Why is it you always have problems with rings? Yeah. Maybe a slight bend in that bolt actually. Just bending that bolt a few more degrees might help. I think it's been optimised. Now the rings have popped out around his eye. I'm just going to push them in. Luckily there's a nice bit on there, like a nice rounded edge, which allows you to get the end of your gloves trapped. In you go. Resistance is futile. Ah, there we are. So I need to get that to there. popped out again. No one said it was going to be easy, but if this works, it'll have saved me having to buy what I think would be a very expensive, very good quality ring compressor. And as after doing this one, this could well be the last engine I will ever rebuild, unless I blow this one up again. Right, so they're all in. Now can we get that far enough through in there to get that nut on? Let me see, it would have been easier, wouldn't it, if you push it through, hold it through tight, nice and tight, get her on there. Ah, that's it. Yeah, if only that bolt was a few threads longer, that would be nice. Right, so we want it to bolt onto this area here, as you can see. Let's get you some light. Apologies if you've been on the dark side slightly, but you can see, yeah, we're all in. Just line it up with the top ring, which means that down a bit further at the bottom. Oh, that's actually not in. No, it is in. Now if I just tighten this up, we may have some joy. Don't want it too tight, otherwise it won't slip through. I think that's probably it. There you go, that's it. I can feel it tightening up now, so it's on the piston. Right, so let's go over to the other side and see whether we can get this to go in the L. Right, as you know, can you see this slot inside the piston? That is facing towards the valve chamber. And when you put the con rods on, you've got to get them around the right way, because some of the con rods, like this one for example, you can see that's got an offset. And if you get the offsets wrong, you can't put the bearings in, okay? So that goes towards the valve side of the engine here, pointing towards the valve chamber. This is number 2. Got number 2 on our rod. Can you see that? Number 2 is the number of the rod. And shall we try and pop her in the hole? Wipe out the bore. Everybody likes a clean hole, and get some oil. The squirtier the better. Where is it? There it is. Put some down the bore. Ooh, feel like a vet. Okay, so drop her in. Make sure that the crankshaft is down so it's out of the way. If this block isn't sitting absolutely vertical with a horizontal surface, these con rods can swing over slightly and lock. And you're trying to put the piston in and it's hitting the inside of the casing or the crankshaft. So you can... Okay, make sure this side goes to the valve chamber, and then we just drop her down into position. Keep the block vertical, because if the con rod dangles over one side or the other, you end up with it fouling underneath. I'm going to use the nylon end of my mallet, which is nice and clean, and see whether she'll go in, holding the ring down. Yay! Success! My tool works. Number 4 going in. Hold it down. That is a lovely job. Get one of these are really good. English hammer with hickory handle. Plastic one end, elastom at the other end. Tappy tap tap. Never mind these so-called valve spring compressors or valve ring compressors. Effectively, essentially they're just not very good. Right, so she's in. I'm happy with that. That's how you get the pistons in. If you've got a magical way of doing it, then good. If not, If not, I can post you my compressor, my man-made compressor, and you can use it and post it back to me, because it's a tool that will last millennia probably. I might put a bit more of a bend in that bolt just so I can get the head of the bolt in easier, but otherwise perfect.